Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are live once again in beautiful Burbank, California for the Overwatch Tespa Collegiate Series. Now, over the course of the last 6 weeks, we've had 230 campuses represented by over 2,400 students across the nation battling it out for their shot at over $100,000 in scholarship prizing. I'm James Jamerson Lee, and joining me today on the casting desk, it is going to be Seamus Seamoose Anderson. Seamoose, how are you doing today?
Doing great, James. We are into the Elite Eight, the final 8 teams in these regional finals. So teams that have made it this far have secured themselves $7,000 apiece, but you got to win this match to make it to the live finals and then also compete for that greater share of over $100,000 in scholarship prizing.
Yeah, I mean, all these teams have already secured $7,000 per team. With this victory today, they secure another $7,000. But let's take a look at the route that they had to take to actually get here. So we started off 6 weeks ago in the regional group play. It was broken down to the north, the south, the west, and then the east. It was a Swiss format. So at the end of the 5 weeks, if you had a 3-2 scoreline or better, you moved on to the regional playoffs.
And into the regional playoffs, it was a top 64 single elimination style bracket where you had to win all the way to make it to those regional championships.
Yeah, and those regional playoff games were played last week, but now, today, November 20th, we are trying to crown the kings from each region. This is the regional championships, and the winner will be moving on to the live finals.
The live finals sometime, somewhere in January, where teams will compete for the rest of the $100,000 prize and pride on the line. You know, we're going to be hosting it live, obviously, so in an arena, in a stadium. There's going to be fans watching. There's going to be a lot of people online. It is going to be nuts.
Yeah, it definitely is nuts. I mean, if you've seen past collegiate tournaments before, we've had Heroes of the Dorms 2 years running now with huge prize pools.
Oh, yeah.
It was on ESPN, everything. Like, if you just saw the latest Heroes of the Dorm documentary, pretty darn good. You should actually go ahead and watch that. I mean, a lot of superstars are starting to be born out of these collegiate tournaments.
Yeah, these collegiate tournaments, I mean, esports in general on the rise. Obviously, collegiate's so important because of the age of the players. And we have seen quite a few players go from collegiate to professional. So that's another thing to look out for, you know, today and at the live finals is for these players to make names for themselves.
Yeah, and so let's see which teams are actually competing to, you know, try and make a name for themselves. So our first match, we're going to be starting off on the north. We're going to be crowning the Kings of the North. Cincinnati facing off against Toronto. And then we'll be moving to the east. It's going to be Worcester Poly facing off against Rutgers. And then in the south, it's going to be UT Austin facing off against East Carolina University. And unfortunately, for our fourth match of the evening, Saddleback will be withdrawing. They were not able to actually field a sixth man, so we will not be playing that match today as Saddleback is forfeiting against Cal Berkeley.
Yeah, for those of you watching at home, a message was sent to us by the Saddleback guys, and if I'm not mistaken, that should be in chat. And honestly, it's unfortunate to see them go, but they were pretty humble, pretty honest about it. So we are going to be congratulating Cal on moving on to the live finals. For these other teams, though, James, you know, you just mentioned the Kings of the North. Cincinnati or Toronto is going to be quite the match.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at their journey to make it here to the regional finals. So, Cincinnati's run through, they had to go through UW-Madison and Kansas State. UW-Madison 3-0, it seemed pretty easy for them, but that Kansas State versus Cincinnati game was nuts.
Yeah, and an incredible comeback. It was a reverse sweep from the University of Cincinnati, so we've seen them have clear victories. We've also seen them have the ability to come back from behind. All of those qualities are really good to have for a team, obviously, that wants to be a championship team, but they're up against the University of Toronto, who had, realistically, a pretty easy time throughout the playoff stage. Both teams have an 8-0 match record, having lost only one game and no games, respectively. So, you know, this is a matchup of the #1 seed versus the #2 seed. Just sparks are going to fly.
Yeah, in the other half, Waterloo facing off. We saw Waterloo actually having a rematch against Toronto there. And Toronto were able to eke them out in a 3-1 match series, which was really close. And when we did interview with the team captain of University of Toronto, Renanthera, he had a lot of choice words to say in their first match. And then in the second match, he said that it was the best game that they had ever played here in the Collegiate Series.
So a lot of confidence.
A lot of confidence. So right now, Toronto facing off against Cincinnati. Sparks are about to be lit here because, yeah, this match is going to be insane.
Yeah, it is really considered the North, that is, one of the better regions, I think, or at least they would like to think that. They certainly have had some very impressive performances so far. I mean, that's the nice thing about this sort of regional competition is that you won't see the regions compete across the region until they actually go to the finals. But seriously, between Cincinnati and Toronto, since they've shown so much greatness throughout the TCS, I'm curious to see who's actually going to be representing the North at the live finals.
Well, let's talk about who's representing them right now. So, the Cincinnati roster, it's going to be Rukata, GGG, Undead Donut, Saber, Meowmere, and Biggie Nose. Information technology, computer engineering, cybersecurity, and other information technology, fine art. Oh no, hey look, another IT major.
Cincinnati with some big names here. You guys already know Undead Donut, Meowmere. Biggie Nose, his most played hero is actually McCree, but we listened to him we had an interview with him this past week. He is the honest support player, also the captain and shot caller for the team. Cincinnati, all around a very strong roster.
Yeah. But their opponents for the evening, University of Toronto, Lair, Renanthera, Dimes, Talons, Funana, and Mr. Bleeple. Comp Sci, Philosophy of Science, Business, Computer Science, Engineering, and another Comp Sci major.
And you mentioned it before, we've spoken to Renanthera before as the captain of the University of Toronto team. You know, he runs a really tight ship. He's a shot caller, he leads all the practices, and the practices they have had, at least from what it sounds like, has been pretty intense. So it's a new patch. It's the 1.5 patch that just released this past week. You know, the preparation these players, these teams are going to have is going to be very important.
Yeah, and, you know, you were talking about earlier how we haven't seen cross-regional play. These teams do scrim across region,
That's
though.
true.
And a lot of teams from the different regions, East, the South, and the West, have been giving props to UT for scrimming with them and providing them some of the best practice that they say they were able to get. So we are on to Gibraltar for our first map. That's all we're going to see starting off our series today. So Gibraltar, pretty standard escort map here.
Yep, it's the longest payload map in the game, geography-wise. It used to actually have 4 checkpoints. Now it only, of course, has 3. And we'll see how these teams approach it. Fan favorite Meowmere is currently hovering over Widowmaker. She is an option for the offense. That's a very long-range composition they're currently sitting on. They might change. They have a couple of sections to play with. But I'm curious to see what Toronto decides to do for the defense. Do they hold forward and then pivot back to the server room? Do they try and just blitz them from the forward position, and what exactly are they planning?
Yeah, on the side of University of Toronto for their defense, pretty standard supports coming out, Lucio and Ana, and then of course the standard tanks, right? With the Zarya and the Reinhardt. Now they are bringing out Talons. He's going to be on that Soldier 76, which we've seen used to great effect throughout the Tespa Collegiate series and along pro play.
Yeah, between the buff to his damage, his bullets, as well as the spread, he is incredibly powerful right now. We see him very commonly. And let's take a look at now Meowmere on Widowmaker. Waiting a few seconds to peek, and now he comes out. Let's see if they can find any picks here.
So it's going to come down to Meowmere. He does land a nice shot, but there is a Reinhardt barrier to actually try to contest against. So now he is going to force them back. Oh, but Lair trying to get into the back line. Unfortunately, his dash was not close enough to get any damage across, and he has to fall back, and now Meowmere's on the hunt for this Genji.
Yeah, this is really awkward for Lair. Now he gets picked off very quickly by Meowmere. It's a 5v6 for the offense. The defensive spawn is quite a ways away. Still, Meowmere taking a bit of a harass. The offense still pushes forward.
Yeah, we have seen this Meowmere Widowmaker before. He was using it, but Biggie knows. Getting the flank onto Funana, takes him out, but he's in the middle of 3.
Wow.
He gets the Phantom Hammer along with that flashbang. He's finally going to get cleaned up, but that's a 2-for-1 trade just coming out for Meowmere, or for Biggie Nose.
In the pregame, we saw Biggie Nose played McCree more than any other hero in competitive, and he came up huge there. And they were actually able to cap it, Jamerson. It looked like for a moment the defense was able to contest, but no, Meowmere and the rest of Cincinnati get the payload to the checkpoint. Extra time on the clock and a perfect forward spawn.
Oh, man. That was great coming out from the side of University of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Once they got into the server room, they drew so much attention there that they completely forgot about the payload.
Exactly. Biggie knows we did see him go down, but he was able to kill and distract enough of the defense that the rest of the team, the supports, were just chilling on the point, still being effective from range, and they were able to get it. So very well done by Cincinnati. Toronto now trying to recoup. They do have a couple of ultimates simply because they found so many kills afterwards. We'll see how they use them.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Earth Shatter along with that Nano Boost. Those are crucial to a defense here. We'll see if Mr. Bleepo can land a good Earth Shatter. We do have the High Noon getting popped by Biggie Nose. He's got it lined up on a few members, but they're going to go ahead and break line of sight. Biggie Nose gets a kill onto Dimes.
So it's a 5v5 fight. You can see the shield was taken down. That Earth Shatter was massive from Cincinnati. 2 kills so far. They are looking for more. The supports trying to stay alive from the defense. Talons and Lair are actually able to connect to get a kill onto Donut, and Talons is still doing work.
Yeah, Nano Boost onto that Genji Lair. He is going to go ahead and pop his Dragon Blade. Finds a 3rd kill there, taking out Biggie Nose. Funana will take out one of the supports. That's GGG going down. So, meters away, the payload was from getting to that checkpoint, but Toronto were able to establish that defense.
We'll see how long Cincinnati decides to go with this composition. It's very, very aggressive. You have the 3 damage heroes, the 3 offense heroes, or 2 offense heroes, I should say, and then the Widowmaker, the 3 DPS guys, and 2 supports. So generally, we've seen GGG play tank for his team in the past. Right now, he's rocking that Zenyatta. Currently, all they have to work with is Saber's Nano Boost. No real targets to sync up with. So honestly, James, this offense might be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, there are several cycles of ultimates that University of Toronto can go with when they decide to try and engage upon Cincinnati. So they really do have to be careful. Now, GGG does have his Transcendence, so he can buy time during one engage, but they have to be really careful about Toronto's ultimates.
Yeah, as of right now, if the University of Toronto is able to simply hold, Talons needs to be careful, gets to sprint away. There comes a Graviton, and not sure where exactly it landed. Sound barrier used by the defense.
Yeah, but the Earth Shatter lands onto Rukata. Transcendence is going to be enough to keep him alive. No Rennet there will clean that up, but that's the 2-for-2 trade as Undead Donut is able to take out Mr. Bleeple. Now, Undead Donut trying to go up against this Genji. Has to be careful. He does have the high ground, is getting some free fire off onto the defense there.
And a boost used onto the Zenyatta. Not sure if that was intentional, but that's what they'll have to work with. The Genji going on to Undead Donut. Lair finds 1, 5-2, looking for the 3rd. Can he get it? Doesn't need to, as the rest of his team was able to defend that point, and that is another successful hold.
And yeah, that was huge there. Unfortunately, the Transcendence was popped earlier. Generally, that's how you want to go ahead and counter that Dragon Blade, but it was not there. It was used earlier. Now, we do see Biggie Nose has switched off onto that Roadhog.
We'll see how effective it can be. Of course, the pick potential from Roadhog, huge here. Undead Donut looking for something. Oh, speaking of picks.
That's going to be the first one going down. Rukata will be able to finish off with that hook. Now, getting a 2nd kill. So now it's a 6v4 in favor of University of Cincinnati. They should be able to push forward as Talons gets the kill onto Meowmere, who has switched off to that Genji. Rennet there dropping low, but the Bionic Nade will keep him alive for now. Nice lead dart, but unfortunately he gets woken up real quickly. Now there we go. Another kill going over in favor of University of Cincinnati. Very few members on the side of Toronto here to actually try and defend.
That swap working out perfectly for Cincinnati. We see the Genji and Zarya from the defense trying to do what they can, but they were simply outnumbered, and the next point will be taken. Very intelligent choice from Biggie Nose to go into the Roadhog. The moment they went onto the map, they were able to find a pick off of it, and as a result, University of Cincinnati is punishing these forward spawns right now.
Yeah, they are unfortunately not getting quite the pickoffs that they wanted. But yeah, take a look on the side of University of Cincinnati. They've got 3 ultimates already at the ready. And the other 3 actually just moments away from coming up.
Lair is looking for something here with the Dragon Blade. No Nano Boost to combo with, but we've seen him go off with just the vanilla ultimate. Tanks meeting up. We see the Roadhog is looking for the Genji on the backside. Here comes one Genji ultimate. Lair finds 1.
But there is the Transcendence this time. He did get the kill onto Saber. Is that going to be enough? As we do have the Dragon Blade getting popped by Meowmere, but unfortunately there's no one quite there for him to try and follow up that damage with. He has to be careful. He's getting hunted down by this Reinhardt, but the Reinhardt is low. Meowmere will get the kill. He's getting the dash resets. Will he find another? Dimes with that Zarya will just back away as Talons also has to retreat. Drop so low, but Meowmere finds that right click.
Talons probably didn't mean to blink in that direction. Gets picked off. Meowmere going off. Finds another kill onto the enemy Genji. And now Cincinnati have a couple of ultimates to work with. We see the Tactical Visor being used into the shield, though not able to find anything.
Yeah, even with the Nano Boost, it's going to be very difficult to try to get through that. But Meowmere finding the kill onto Funana. That's huge.
That's huge. The Winston is jumping in, trying to be as big as he can, but it's not going to be enough. Hi, guys. It's him, Meowmere, and he goes to the University of Cincinnati. Meowmere going off on this Genji on Gibraltar.
Is he going to go to the live finals? This performance, it definitely looks like he wants to. Take a look at that. Rukata, Biggie Nose coming in. Now we do have the stall tactics coming out on the side of University of Toronto. Diva is out there. Is she going to get mech'd soon?
There's another Genji on the board. Lair trying to do what he can for the defense with 4 HP. Gets taken down by Meowmere. And Meowmere simply sitting on the spawn. Actually, Funada was able to make it back, so props to Toronto for delaying for as long as they could, but the University of Cincinnati will cap with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining.
1 minute and 15 seconds. So, I mean, with how they started off, things were looking pretty darn bleak for Toronto, to be completely honest, right? There was maybe 5.5 minutes, I think, once they reached the hangar portion for Cincinnati to push in. But Toronto did establish some sort of defense there in the hangar section and were able to buy some time off that clock.
Yeah, they shaved a couple of minutes off the clock. Really, that first point, that first fight, when it looked like they had the advantage in terms of the kills, but didn't contest the objective in time, well, it started the game in a favorable position for Cincinnati, and that's what we saw basically them snowball through. Still credit to Toronto for delaying for as long as they did. Like you mentioned, the shuttle portion specifically, they took quite a bit of time off of the clock, and now it is their turn to attack.
There we go. That is what we have dubbed Tommy, the hypoallergenic mech cat there. Buy one today, folks. I mean, just in time for Christmas, right? Is it too early for Christmas?
I don't know, man. Remember, I wasn't here when we dubbed it, when we christened him Tommy, but fair enough. Lots of cats. We got Tommy, Meowmere.
2 cats.
You know.
We're not going full-blown cat lady here.
Nope.
No, not quite yet. Soon enough, though. So Cincinnati on the defense. This time they're bringing along double
3 cats.
3 cats?
James, they're the Bearcats.
They are the Bearcats.
Boom.
There it is. But a Bearcat isn't a cat, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
It's not a bear.
Oh, it's not like a cat-dog situation?
A spider monkey is a monkey, not a spider.
But it's not like a cat-dog situation? It's like half bear, half... No? Okay.
Probably not.
So yeah, on the defense for Cincinnati, they're bringing out 2 hit scan characters. So Meowmere, this is about his 3rd hero so far. He's going to be on the McCree. Undead Donut will be bringing along that Soldier 76. So a lot of hit scan coming out from them. I'm surprised that they're not actually trying to run that... That Widowmaker getting, but oh no, Talons tries to go for the high ground, but Undead Donut is there to completely shut him down.
Really good trap there to get the Tracer. Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to mean too much because she'll be able to respawn, you see it right there. But Biggie knows, able to find another kill with that advantage, so the defense is doing a good job of finding a few frags here. They're forced to jump down, though, because they are going under this tunnel. Lair trying to do what he can on the Soldier. Gets a lot of damage, but no kill just yet.
Yeah, fortunately for Toronto, even though the defense got those kills early, the spawn point is so close that it's almost inconsequential, but you are giving away ultimate charge here.
Biggie knows up to about 50% of that ulti charge. You see the offense is hiding behind that, using the geography. There's a little pillar there. There's that large health pack, and they are taking this very slowly. Their shield is about to be broken. Need to be careful.
Yeah, Tactical Visor is ready for Undead Donut. Talons is in the back line, but looks like Undead Donut poised to try and jump up top. Almost gets the Helix Rocket onto Tracer, but she is able to just recall away. Now GGG will finally clean that up. We do have the Nano Boost on to that Reinhardt, but he was immediately put to sleep, and Tactical Visor popped by Undead Donut. He's got the Nano Boost now, but the Visor is down. Renette there dropping a little bit low. It's trying to go for a 3v2 over here in the lower, but on the other side, he gets taken out. Lair, unfortunately, he did use his Tactical Visor there. He went down.
Yeah, that was some nice burst from the Helix Rocket there. We saw Toronto trying to make a play with the Reinhardt. They tried to use the Nano Boost to have him go in, but he was slept, and because he was so aggressive, he wasn't able to defend his team from the Tactical Visor from the defense. So Cincinnati with a successful hold. Nearly 2 minutes have passed.
Oh, Meowmere trying to go for a cheeky flashbang there, but they were playing a little bit at range there, so he has to back off. He was dropped down a little bit low. So right now, Cincinnati still on the defense. They're kind of quasi-playing it in the server room. It's going to be Undead Donut once again taking the kill onto Lair. Talon's still trying to do some work here in the back line, but he's got to be careful. He was able to recall, but not at full health. We do have the Earthshatter coming out on the side of University of Cincinnati, but it's going to be Talon that comes and gets the kill onto GGG. That's a Zarya. That's a double kill for him as Biggie Nose drops. Now, we do have the Biotic Nade on Rukata, and he's going to fall. No healing coming out for the Transcendence.
That was a superb sound barrier, and even though Cincinnati tried to use their own support ultimate, that Transcendence, to counter it, the grenade cancels the healing there, and now Toronto are able to get the kills they need, get the point, and push farther ahead.
Yeah, not as quickly as Cincinnati there, but they are going to be able to go ahead and establish a defense as they do take out Talons.
Still, for Toronto, it was looking kind of bleak, honestly. For them to win that team fight off of the sound barrier and then negating the enemy Transcendence, finding an early frag too, we did see Talons Tracer come up big. The team was very useful, but here comes the Graviton.
Yeah, Graviton Surge lands onto about 3 members. Undead Donut already finding 2 kills, and Meowmere with the Deadeye gets the kill onto Talons. Now the defense getting firmly established here as they are on the hunt for Funana, Flashbang, and then the melee to finish him off.
Lucio getting taken down. This Reinhardt needs to back away. He should be fine. He has his full health bar. But Cincinnati, that was kind of funny actually. Talons was trying to sneak around the McCree and then just gets dead-eyed in the face. But Toronto is able to regroup, have a lot of ultimates to work with here, James.
Yeah, they definitely do. Tactical Visor again for Undead Donut. We'll see how much work he can put in with that. Now, the payload is getting pushed forward, uncontested right now. 3 members on it. Now, we do have the Tactical Visor getting popped by Undead Donut, but it's going to be Meowmere that gets the first kill onto Renanthera. Now, Rukata and Undead Donut with the double kill. We do have that Graviton Surge, but no follow-up damage whatsoever.
The combo was attempted. The Graviton Surge Pulse Bomb combo from Zarya and Tracer was attempted by the University of Toronto, but unfortunately not able to find any success with that. A lot of ultimates were used from Cincinnati, and we do see the swap from Talon. So recognizing that at this point, you know, Tracer, he's died a couple of times, hasn't been working very successfully, although did have some moments. But for now, different map type, you got to run that. McCree. Oh, speaking of McCree, Meowmere.
Nice lurk from him, and the DPS coming out from the side of University of Cincinnati, giving Toronto so much trouble right now. Meowmere is even feeling a little cautious, or a little courageous here, trying to go for the low ground.
The nice thing about his positioning was that no one saw him on Toronto's side. So he was able to take his time, James, set up that headshot, and then do so much damage. This time, though, looks like the defense are trying to cover that angle, and they are going to force him to back up. But has his Deadeye available, could definitely still make plays here.
Yeah, who's going to be able to work down the shields first?
Oh,
but great Helix Rocket followed up with that Tactical Visor, almost dropping down Biggie Nose. Biggie Nose has to be careful as the rest of the team falls back into the shuttle. Biggie Nose getting dinked by the 76. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, you don't want to peek that Biggie Nose. McCree, though, is feeling a little courageous. Meowmere is full HP now, and the Soldier Tech Visor is down. You see a little bit of trading back and forth, but the offense is able to push through here. Funana makes it out.
Yeah, Funana barely surviving Flashbang and then dink, but now Meowmere gets dropped on 2v1.
Oh!
He takes the challenge, takes out Lair.
Meowmere popping off, winning the duel in a 2v1 situation in close range is incredible. And Cincinnati should be able to win this.
Earthshatter, though, lands onto 1. Unfortunately, it's going to be Undead Donut and Rukata pushing forward.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
It's almost a full team wipe. Lair's the only one surviving here. 1 minute left for University of Toronto.
Meowmere, I mean, what more is there to say?
I think he just wants to change his tag. Hey, guys, it's me, Meowmere. I'm going to live finals.
Yeah. Representing Cincinnati so well, and now they've got so many ultimates to work with what could be the last fight. Very little time for Toronto. They have 2 support ultimates, so they could make something happen, but they've got to be careful. So much damage just walking through here.
Yeah, this is just one choke point that they're trying to run through. This is a really small choke point, too. And so they're opting into this. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock for them. The payload still has to go a few meters. Now we do have Talons getting the first kill onto Biggie Nose. Graviton Surge, it's going to land onto some of the DPS. High Noon is popped, but it's going to be Saber and Rukata coming in. Double kill for Rukata. We do have the Tactical Visor getting popped by Undead Donut in the back line. And now the final members here stuck in the corridor as there's only 1 second left. Someone is going to be able to make it on there to contest, but no, it's not going to be enough. Cincinnati will take Gibraltar.
Rukata on fire that match. He had another great Earthshatter and was able to follow up the damage that was provided or set up by the Graviton Surge from GGG. So all around Cincinnati, you know, really coming together. These guys are strong mechanical players. They have such a depth of hero pool, and they're running crazy strategies. Triple DPS to start Gibraltar. Good stuff.
And, of course, Meowmere on that Widowmaker. He started it off with crucial picks on the offense.
Yes, he did. Now, let's take a look at the play of the game. Lair on Oni Genji. Lair did have a lot of good moments on Genji, especially on the offense, and we see him just being powered up here. Does pull out the Dragon Blade, finds the 3rd kill, looking for the 4th, and then gets it on the Zenyatta. So, well done by Lair, but unfortunately not enough for him or his team. First map over to Cincinnati.
Yeah, so this is a best-of-5 series, and it is going to be loser's pick here. At this point, it's a pretty drastic difference in performance on this full escort map. What do you think Toronto will want to go with for their counter pick?
if I recall correctly, they are really comfortable on control maps, King of the Hill. Lijiang Tower, actually, I think, was what Renan Thera said was one of his favorite maps personally. We'll see if they decide to go for it. That would probably be a wise decision anyway, to take the map to a different game type. Generally, when you do see a team suffer a one-sided defeat, it's better to just to reset the situation, you know? If it were close on payload, sure, bring it back, just make a few adjustments. But you're right, that was a comfortable victory for Cincinnati, so Toronto definitely need to adjust.
Well, they are going to be taking to Eichenwalde for our next map.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we got the hybrid map coming out. Eichenwalde, you have to capture point A first. We did see, was it University of Toronto that ran the Torbjorn, or was...
I believe it was.
Yeah, Torbjorn to
We see the
Metra.
pocket pick, yeah, turret strats.
Yeah.
Or it might have been a different team. Might have been.
But we've been seeing a lot of
Right.
Torbjorn and Symmetras actually on Eichenwalde defense, so that might be something that they might have in their pocket for their defense.
Yep, so Torbjorn obviously was played on that map beforehand. We saw it in the Overwatch World Cup.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that Torbjorn had a few changes recently. His hammer swings faster, does a little bit less damage. Overall, that means you build turrets quicker. And while he gets less scrap from scrap packs, he passively generates it, which means that he's much stronger in the early game than he used to be. So certainly, Eichenwalde is a map that we've seen teams have very rehearsed set-piece strategies on. And in terms of counterpick, I mean, it's similar, kind of, in terms of geography to Gibraltar, since they're both very large, but it is a hybrid map. You do need to cap the point first.
Yeah, speaking about Torbjorn, though, I think one of the most important things coming out from Torbjorn is that you no longer gain ultimate charge for attacking his turret.
Yeah, that's kind of like the biggest buff was indirect for any sort of structure. You know, a Torbjorn turret, a Symmetra teleporter turret, etc. You no longer build ulti charge.
Yeah, and so at that point, Torbjorn's liability to the team is really diminished because now you can just free willy-nilly place turrets. You can even go, you know, for the cheeky spots, the early turret really close to the base just to gain some extra ultimate charge there to get closer and closer to your molten core.
Yeah, unfortunately though, Toronto on defense, it doesn't look like they'll be going with a Torbjorn at all. They have a Mei, which is fairly common for this initial choke point, but sometimes you'll see a Roadhog 2 to defend that. Looks like they're just going to go with a bit more of a standard composition. You know, the good stuffs here. They have a lot of utility, a lot of setup. Of course, Graviton, that Zarya ultimate in conjunction with a Mei could be devastating if they get those ultimates up. But
I don't know if the University of Cincinnati actually want to give them the time. Take a look at their composition right now. There's still plenty of time for them to switch off, but the triple dive composition, even if you do get the Mei wall off, you have 3 heroes on the side of Cincinnati that can just jump on over it and get to your back line.
Pharah and Mercy as well means technically 5 out of the 6 heroes University of Cincinnati are currently considering can jump over any sort of point or wall. And there's actually some really sneaky strats you can do to make it around the back side of the map, and I'm curious to see if anyone actually decides to go for that.
Yep, so now we are out the gate. This is Eichenwalde, University of Cincinnati, 2 maps away from going to the live finals here and being crowned the Kings of the North.
Take a look at this. He's going to jump over the left side of the building and then drop down. The rest of the team is going to follow.
Yeah, there we go. We do have the Winston already jumping on in along with the Diva. And now the team is split up on the side of University of Toronto, and Lair has to be careful. He's the only one that can actually deal with this Pharah right now, but he's got so much pressure applied to him.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage, so he needs to be careful as well. Lair finding the first frag actually onto the Genji is going to be good for the defense. The offense now doesn't actually have that much survivability because they are on the opposite side. They cannot run away from here, James, and they will get taken down.
Oh, wow. Great defense coming out from University of Toronto. They all fell back to the point to try and focus down the backliners.
We saw the focus onto Lair as well, but he was able to sprint away. You know, that's one of the undersold things is how important mobility is. If you're able to dodge your opponents who are all focusing you and then your teammates take them down, that's great. Lair doing really good escaping and then also killing the enemy Genji.
Now, Cincinnati have completely swapped off, so Undead Donut is going to be on the Roadhog. Instead, Saber has switched from Mercy on over to Lucio, and Meowmere will be picking up the Soldier 76, so now they're going for more standard composition.
Yeah, so take a look if Undead Donut can land a hook, or if the Mei wall stops the team. Oh, landing a hook onto the Reinhardt, not going to be that easy to kill him.
But the wall did come down from Talon, so this is their opportunity. Great Sleep Dart comes in. Are they going to be able to follow up? No, Mr. Bleeple gets woken up immediately. They've got to push in before this wall comes back up.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Reinhardt getting caught out. He's definitely going to be taken down. Lair getting that kill. Another kill over Meowmere is able to retaliate, but Mr. Bleeple is charged up and ready to take down some opponents. Oh my goodness,
getting
this is
that
terrifying.
Lucio there. Meowmere dropping down to 1 HP,
geez.
but there it is. Talons comes in around the corner, take out Meowmere. So it looks like Toronto know what they were doing when they took this to Eichenwalde.
Yeah, that moment when you're up against a Reinhardt who's boosted and you're trapped by Maywall or you just can't run away. It's not very fun. And now, Toronto, they've got 4 ultis to work with. Cincinnati, already 2 minutes past, need to make something happen. Their swap composition did get a hook, but didn't actually find anything so far. Now they're going around this left side, but there comes the Graviton.
Yeah, it's a huge Graviton surge, but are they going to be able to work down this shield? Lair coming in, gets the first kill onto Biggie Nose. Excuse me, that's going to be Dimes, and now everyone on the side of Toronto actually contributing to this team fight.
And that is exactly what you want to do as the defense with an ultimate advantage. They are cycling through their ultimates perfectly. They did not use Reinhardt ult, they didn't use the Lucio ult, they just had a great combo between Zarya and Mei, and now they're even close to their Soldier on a combo once again.
Yeah, so Earthshatter still up for Toronto right now. University of Cincinnati. Oh no, Mr. Bleeple gets the kill onto GGG. That's going to stall out Cincinnati's next push. They've only got a minute left here.
Cincinnati need to make something happen. They have a lot of resources to work with, but they simply haven't been able to find their center, I want to say. They keep getting poked down like this before the fight even begins, and that is not what you want to happen.
Yeah, and almost all of the ultimates on the side of University of Cincinnati online. They are going to go ahead and pop that tactical visor. It's going to be Meowmere that gets the first kill onto Renanthera, but now he is put down by that by the Earthshatter, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Talons gets the 1-for-2 trade, so it's still in favor of Cincinnati right now.
Talent is able to shift, so he's healing right now. Will make it back. A huge Graviton Surge should take the point down. The wall is not going to be enough. The 2 tanks from Toronto will go down. And Cincinnati, it took them a while, James, but they were able to get the point.
Yeah, 15 seconds left on the clock. They're going to get another 2.5 minutes added there as Meowmere is on the hunt for Renanthera right now.
Oh, it needs to be careful, though. Renanthera is no slouch on the sauna.
No. And that was a lot of ultimates used by both sides, but it's going to be University of Toronto that has their Graviton Surge along with the Nano Boost for this defense. They do have the high ground.
Yeah, for Cincinnati, since it took so long, they were able to get all of their ultimates in. And while, yes, that is a valid strategy, get all your ultimates up and then go for it, it takes a while to acquire those. And after using them, the next fight is going to be really hard because now Cincinnati don't have any ults to work with.
Yeah, University of Toronto almost has 2 separate cycles of ultimates that they can go with here. So Cincinnati definitely have to be careful as the payload is actually making good headway here.
Yeah, we saw Dimes jumping down, but he wasn't able to, I think he just didn't see the Graviton Surge he was looking for. And that was a little bit risky, but he hasn't taken too much damage right now. They're just waiting for the Graviton Surge to come in, although Talon's jumping down as well. The wall is pretty good, and here comes Soldier.
Yeah, he did find the flank. He's already got a double kill. Is he going to get the triple as Mr. Bleeple finds the kill onto Rukata? Now he's on the hunt for this Lucio. Tries to go for the melee. That's going to be a quad kill for Lair.
Lair with the spray and BM afterwards. On a Soldier 76 combo that we've seen since this 1.5 patch is so very effective and hard to run away from too. You really can't. Even though there's no longer a speed boost, the Soldier himself can sprint to chase you down, so there's no way to get away from that.
Toronto did commit the Blizzard for that last team fight, so they're only going to have 3 for the next, as University of Cincinnati are getting closer and closer to 3 for themselves.
Yeah, we'll see if Dimes can find a big Graviton, though, because if he does, then they can probably just destroy the enemy team. Renanthera is in big trouble, but here comes Meowmere.
Yeah, Meowmere is going to go ahead and pop that tactical visor, but a huge Earthshatter comes out for Mr. Bleeple. He gets put to sleep. Lair finds the first kill onto Saber for the side of University of Toronto. Huge charge coming in. Mr. Bleeple dropping pretty low, but he does have his barrier to keep himself alive right now. Meowmere not able to get much off of that, and it's going to be Talons that takes out Biggie Nose there.
Mr. Bleeple is wrecking people. University of Cincinnati had ultimates galore trying to get the advantage there, but that Earthshatter was able to take them down. It was able to stop the Soldier ultimate. The sound barrier from Cincinnati was not very effective, and now Toronto only a couple of seconds from holding pretty successfully, I would say, but they've still got to do it. Cincinnati does have Graviton, does have Nano Boost. They have a couple of tank ultimates coming up as well, so that's still a lot of resources.
Yeah, Blizzard's going to be huge for this final push, as there's only 5 seconds left for Cincinnati to push this in. They do have 4 ultimates to work with, but it's going to be Leia that starts it off, getting the kill onto Biggie Nose. We do have Malmir. He has switched off to that Widowmaker, but is it going to be enough, as we do have the Graviton Surge? Renan there is stuck in there, but he's going to be kept alive. Blizzard is now out for Talents. Is he going to find any kills off? It's going to be Layers that gets a double kill. Talents cleans up GGG. That's going to be a 3rd kill for Talents, and that's going to be a hold for University of Toronto.
University of Cincinnati, look at how many ultimates they had, James. They were trying a really, really risky play. Undead Donut was actually 1% off from his self-destruct, but was not able to get it. Imagine just that 1 second of time, and he had his ultimate and was able to lob it up there. That would have been such a different fight, but because Cincinnati were not able to coordinate and use those ultimates, Toronto is able to hold them there, and even though they were finally able to take the point, Cincinnati honestly didn't get too much distance.
Yeah, they really didn't. Eichenwalde. Once you get to the payload portion, it can be really difficult, especially when the defense start off with an ultimate advantage there. They did such a great job of just cycling through their ultis to stall out for as long as they could.
Right. The entire point of the defense Toronto had, I mean, ideally they would have liked a full hold, but by rotating those ultimates, they forced Cincinnati to commit 4, 5, 6 ults, and that just set the tone for the rest of the match because, you know, especially with the change, ultimates charge much slower now. A 25% global increase, I would say, to the charge rate makes it so much more effective to rotate your ultimates instead of simply trying to get all 6 and use them at the same time.
Yeah. Ultimate's definitely a scarce resource now. Looking at the defense for University of Cincinnati, they're going with that Torbjorn that we mentioned earlier. And for their support, Saber, kind of on an off pick. Not too many Zenyatas that we'll see, but Saber definitely, we have seen him on the Zenyatta pretty often. Zenyatta can do a lot of damage. People really do underestimate the Discord Orb.
And I have seen teams actually employ more Zenyatta on a defense because you don't need to position your supports since you already have a defensive advantage. You can set up where you want to, as opposed to where an attacking team would need to try and run and chase the opponent. So it could definitely work for Cincinnati. Also, because they have a Torbjorn, those very, very immobile supports all of a sudden might get 75 extra HP if they get those armor packs. So it could definitely be effective.
Yeah, so right now on the offense, it's University of Toronto. Talents is on the Tracer. Let's see if he can actually get into the backline. Layer doing great damage, takes out Undead Donut, so that's 2 kills already going in favor of University of Toronto. They are dropping a little bit low, but Talents gets the kill onto Saber. Layer will be able to finish off that turret, and now they're on the hunt for this final support. Layer comes in, takes out Biggie Nose. Great first push coming out from Toronto as Layer gets cleaned up.
We're seeing why Toronto wanted to go to this map, really destroying Cincinnati on that first push, and we just saw that was a result of picks, long-range picks, the Fire Strike, the Helix Rocket, the damage from Soldier 76 gives Toronto nearly 6 minutes to push this payload like 90 meters. That is an incredibly long time for quite a short distance.
Yeah, from here,
Meowmere
only about 78.
completely caught out.
Meowmere, yeah, he is caught out. He's dropping so low. Is he going to be able to make it behind the shield? Ooh, not for long as he turns around and try and focus on that Reinhardt. Layer coming in, gets the kill onto Saber. Talents finds one onto Undead Donut, and now things are looking so bad for University of Cincinnati.
The tanks are going to be able to back up to a degree. GGG taking very low. Reinhardt puts his shield down, trying to get some damage out. Oh, that Earthshatter's going to be big.
Is it going to be enough for him to take out Layer? It is, so Rukata and Biggie Nose finding 2 kills on the side of University of Cincinnati. Is it going to be enough to follow back?
Oh, wow.
The short-range pin coming in from Rukata gets the kill onto Ren and Thera, and he's a one-man army.
Rukata absolutely the MVP of these last few moments for Cincinnati. Soldier 76 now has that nano boost up, so he's going to be able to help the defense. Seriously, Rukata just saved Cincinnati's chances because it started off really good for Toronto. That being said, though, these trades are going back and forth, and Toronto is going to have 6 ultimates up in a moment, where Cincinnati simply has 1. GGG going for the Graviton. Here comes a Tactical Visor as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Layer kills himself with that Helix Rocket, but already on the side of University of Cincinnati. Biggie Nose coming in with a double kill, and the rest of the team will follow up. University of Toronto stumbling a little here on the offense.
Yeah, so you do see that the use of Tactical Visor and close combat situations not really effective because generally you'll be able to land those shots anyway, and then the Helix Rocket does a lot of burst as well. So Undead Donut is able to get that kill and get that ultimate out. Meow swap to Widowmaker, trying to get a pick off the side. Long sidelines on this map, but it can be hard to get sometimes. Oh, that pin onto Tracer.
Rukata has been so good with his charges. Undead Donut finding a double kill with that tactical visor. Graviton Surge was also committed on the side of Toronto there. Unfortunately, no follow-ups for them as Meow gets the headshot onto Dimes.
And the members of Toronto may be slipping here. They use Graviton Surge. They use that Earth Shatter from the Reinhardt and James. They weren't able to find anything. You saw that Graviton caught 4 members, but DPS was already dead. There was simply no follow-up. You know, and now Cincinnati, they're getting their ultimates back. They are definitely coming back in this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised on the side of Toronto. They're not going for something like a Winston to go for the high ground. Talon dropping really low. Almost took that Helix Rock to the face. Now he does have to back away. Meow once again on this Widowmaker going uncontested as GGG finds the kill onto Talons. 3 minutes left for Toronto. They only need to push this about 30 more meters.
You know, I'm struggling to remember how many kills Toronto have gotten so far in these past 3 minutes because it really hasn't been that many. Cincinnati has been lighting the scoreboard up, and Toronto has found no reply so far. Looks like they want to go around this right side, but look how much damage, how much harass that shield has taken. Gets taken down, and now McCree needs to be careful.
Oh, Talon's dropping real low, down to 2 bars, and now
dead.
Undead Donut is on the hunt for him. He did get the flashbang off, and Talon survives with about 10 HP there.
That close
he will
range.
make it to that health pack, and now it's Toronto on the high ground.
Spoke too soon. Talon's able to win that duel. Soldier 76 probably shouldn't be going that close.
Now we do have Lair. He did pick off Meowme here as the sound barrier was popped on the side of University of Cincinnati. And great flip, but unfortunately he misses those headshots onto Undead Donut. Mr. Bleeple does find the kill onto Biggie Nose, but now it looks like Toronto have cracked the defense of Cincinnati. It's going to be down to Meowme and Undead Donut to try and stall this, but we have the tactical visor getting popped by Lair here. He is on the hunt for this Tracer. Will not be long for this world. Meowme will go down.
And Toronto should be able to take this. Soldier 76, Undead Donut trying to do what he can. Does a tactical visor, but he needs to contest. He's unable to do so, and that is that match over to Toronto. 1-1 scoreline in this best of 5. Very well done.
Yeah, so Gibraltar went the way of Cincinnati, but Toronto's counter pick of Eichenwalde definitely paying off for them there. Man, what a weird match. What a weird match. Because Toronto started off just...
Ooh, Funana with the play of the game. Here, let's take a look at this first. Play of the match from Lucio. Generally environmental kill, but it looks like it might have just been sound barrier play. He's able to get some damage down, providing heals the entire time, and does get that kill onto the Rodak, so that's probably what he got it for. Not bad from Funana, Cincinnati's Lucio player, making sure his team stays alive, but also getting some kills. But I want to go back to that comment you made, that that was a very odd match. I agree.
I mean, Toronto started off, right? They took the point with almost no contest coming out from Cincinnati's side. But once they got to the payload portion and they were going around the castle and getting towards the moat, Toronto's offense kind of looked really scattered.
And it was odd, too, because they had so much time. They had 5.5, nearly 6 minutes for 90 meters. Like, you'll see Eichenwalde is probably the longest map in terms of the second point. So generally, it can take a couple of team fights for teams to get it to the end. But actually, you know, where that point was stopped in particular is it's not common to see a map end there.
Yeah, right at the bridge.
Yeah, not only for the initial defense to hold it there, but then also Toronto being unable to take that was surprising.
Yeah, definitely was. But it's going to be Ilios for our next map now.
So completely different map type, and we'll see how that runs.
Yeah, this is just going to be team fight after team fight after team fight. So Cincinnati feeling really confident in their, in their control point map styles. And we'll see, because actually Toronto really do favor the King of the Hill maps.
They've talked about how they liked it. In terms of going against a team of this caliber, we haven't actually seen that yet.
That is true.
Like University of Cincinnati and University of Toronto, first and second seed respectively. These are literally the top 2 teams from the north. So, you know, I think Toronto might say that that's one of their favorite map types, but for Cincinnati, it's not like, oh yeah, we're not great at control maps. No, they're probably fine. And I'm really curious too, because Ilios is definitely one of those more rare control King of the Hill maps. Generally, we see Lijiang Tower or Nepal. There's a lot of room for some pretty interesting strategies because you have Ruins, a really large map. Well, of course, Roadhog can get a lot of cheeky kills there with the hook. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see what these teams bring out.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe it was Biggie Nose on the side of Cincinnati that was their Roadhog player, and he has gone off with those hooks before. So we'll see how well the Toronto can actually deal with that. But we're going to be starting off on the runes portion. Roadhog's still a pretty good pick here, but I feel like Meowmears might be pulling out
the
his
Widowmaker. Yeah, he's hovering over the Genji right now, which would mean more of a try and dive the support composition as opposed to playing this long range, trying to play the ruins for the sightlines that they have, but they still have 30 seconds to swap that around. And I'd be curious to see if we see any tank stacking compositions, you know, that 4-2 or 3 tanks, 1 DPS, 2 support comps that we sometimes see at competitive play.
Nothing like that quite yet.
Nope. I mean, we do see 3 tanks on the side of Cincinnati, but it's interesting because it's part standard control, but also part dive. GGG and Meowmear, if they stick to these heroes, are definitely going to try and kill the supports as soon as possible.
Yeah, and D.Va, one of the recipients of the buffs in the last patch, her movement speed increased when she's firing, so she's not as immobile as before. And we've seen really good D.Vas get into the backline and just completely shred the support line.
Yeah, she also is a little bit tankier, which can be really tough to deal with as we see these teams matching up. Grenade going to land on Zarya, just going to remove that with her shield. Talon's doing what he can on this Tracer. The first kill, very important on control maps.
Yeah, definitely. Rukata did drop down a little low. Undead Donut is going to go ahead and miss that hook, so now he is a little bit more vulnerable, but it's up so quickly, he'll have it very soon. Now, the point is unlocked, and it's going to be University of Cincinnati getting the first few ticks on there, but no one taking control quite yet. GGG dropping. Now he is in pilot form. He's got to be careful. He's super squishy there, as we do see Layer trying to get away from that Zarya. Rukata on the hunt for him. Meowmear now in the back line, trying to go for this Lucio. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as Dimes gets Rukata. Undead Donut will pick off Talons, though.
Meowmear hasn't gotten any kills, but has gotten very close to having his ultimate up. Is looking for this Ana right now. Dimes getting 2 kills for Toronto, and the charge from the Nano Boost means Toronto should get this point.
Yeah, great decision making there coming out from Toronto. Put it on Mr. Bleeple. D.Va, close range with the Nano Boost, just does so much damage. And once again, with that movement speed change, she can definitely just charge down people.
She's more mobile while firing, which means that you can get a ton of damage across, and Toronto getting that point, have the ultimates in their favor now. However, Cincinnati have so many, like that boosted blade.
Yeah, Dragon Blade did come out, but Lair will go ahead and easily clean that up with the tactical visor. Huge setup coming out from Toronto. So that was the Graviton Surge along with the self-destruct coming out from Mr. Bleeple.
Mr. Bleeple is an absolute monster. Dimes with the setup and Lair with the follow-up damage just in case they needed it. Toronto taking the second full-on team fight of the game with a great 4K, but now Cincinnati coming back. They have their Nano Boost to work with. Roadhog is still looking for picks, but Lair is getting so much damage so far. Unanswered, just as I say that. Oh, the shield.
Oh, the hook came in. Lair survived for just a moment, but now we have the Nano Boost onto GGG's D.Va. He's going in.
Oh, my goodness.
And great hook coming out from Undead Donut now. D.Va, GGG pushing forward, still has so much health to work with, is getting healed up. Brennan Thara will be able to find that sleep dart onto GGG, but in the background, yeah, it's Undead Donut, just a one-man army on that Roadhog. Finds a 4th kill, taking out Dimes. Is it going to be a 5th?
Oh,
it
my
is.
goodness. Undead Donut just killed essentially the entire team of Toronto. And Cincinnati will be able to get the point back. But nearly 70% for Toronto. You know, they're still going to have the advantage for now. Still, they've got to find an answer for Undead Donut because he just ran train.
Yeah, and Cincinnati, they haven't used that Graviton Surge self-destruct combo yet. They've been holding on to that for a while. They didn't need to because Undead Donut was just going off on that Roadhog right now. Now on the side of University of Toronto, though, they do have the Nano Boost and they have the Graviton Surge. No huge wombo combo quite yet coming out for them as they are trying to hunt down this Roadhog. Mr. Bleeple doing tons of damage to Undead Donut. He will get the hook onto D.Va. Will he force the... No, it's going to be Mr. Bleeple that gets the heads-up battle against Undead Donut. Now we do have the self-destruct getting used along with the Graviton Surge. That's going to be GGG coming in for a quad kill, triple kill actually.
On both sides, Talon is now with his Deadeyes trying to find a kill. We see Ana there playing really smart. Okay, does still get taken down though, and Toronto is able to get it. But that was really intelligent from Toronto. You saw how they hunted down the Roadhog. Roadhog was a problem in the last fight, so let's just eliminate him from the equation. And they are able to get that point. But with that double Diva bomb going off, it looked close.
Yeah, a lot was used there on the side of University of Cincinnati, but they still have 3 ultimates. And take a look at these headshots coming out from Talons right now on this McCree, going heads up against Meowmere. So Meowmere will have to be careful. Now we do have the Divas facing off right now. It's going to be Meowmere that gets the first kill onto Lair, and Lair's a huge target to find.
Diva is still alive. The boosted Roadhog whole hog will be enough for Cincinnati to take the point, but a very close game back and forth so far as both teams really showing up on Ilios. 96% for Toronto. If they win one more team fight, that's going to be it. But Cincinnati, they're ticking up.
Yeah, so 96% to about 65% right now. We do have the nano boost on the side of University of Toronto. Undead Donut not able to connect with that hook, but it's not going to be long before he finds his next target. Lair dropping really no. We did have the sound barrier on the side of University of Cincinnati, but the Deadeye getting pumped, but Talons gets shut down. No, it's going to be Dodge that gets a kill onto Donut, making sure that Talon survives. Graviton Surge lands onto about 3 members, and Talons will get free damage off along with Lair. Lair coming in for a double kill. Now they're on the hunt for this Lucio. They will get this team fight. 97, 98, 99. First point is going over to Toronto.
Very nicely done there. Talons looking for the Deadeye. He did get hooked, but when a Roadhog is hooking, that's one of the perfect times that you can take advantage of the fact that he can't do anything. And we saw that from Toronto, just piling on, getting the kill into the Roadhog, and they were able to win that team fight afterwards. Back and forth, but overall, Toronto able to strike first blood. Of course, these control maps go to a best of 5 as well, but for now, Toronto with a 1-0 advantage.
Taking a look at the composition so far, Talons is going to go back to that Tracer, but this is where we saw Meowmere first pull out his Widowmaker.
And he played it in a really interesting position too. You see right now the camera is looking at this little church to the left side. That's where he ran, or the windmill I should say. He ran at the top left corner, and he actually was hooked off by a Roadhog before. But we'll take a look where he runs it right now. Of course, when teams are going to meet each other, you rather take a more cautionary position a little bit farther back, see if you can land any kills with that sight line.
Yeah, the supports really have to be careful on the side of University of Toronto here because
Meowmere
can pick him off. Yeah, so they are playing line of sight against him right now, but he's still getting good damage across. Take a look, he's already got 46% to his ult charge. Lands a headshot. It's going to be Undead Donut that gets the kill onto Talons.
So 6v5 in favor of Cincinnati. They're looking for the Diva right now, and even though the Widowmaker is not doing that much damage right now, the fact that they have that entire corridor basically free is perfect for them. And look at that in the air. The shot onto Mr. Bleeple. That was a great shot from Meowmere. He's onto the point, finds another one, and he is starting to come up huge for the team. The 2 supports from Toronto doing what they can to contest, but the point was already taken, and this is just pure carnage.
Yeah, we do have the tactical visor getting popped by Lair. They're trying to force off University of Cincinnati, but Undead Donut will take out Lair. Undead Donut still working his way towards the tactical visor, but he doesn't need it right now.
Difficult tactical visor to actually make anything happen there. Nice hook, but it's still not going to be enough from Talons because, you know, they lost so many people in that first fight. We saw the tactical visor, we saw the Roadhog trying to make plays happen afterwards, but they weren't actually grouped up, so the rest of the team wasn't able to follow up. And now Cincinnati with clear control. And this is where we saw Meowmere before. It's like a little boost up here.
Now, we do have a Winston on the side of University of Toronto, but last time someone actually tried to run a Winston against him, it didn't quite work out. Now, the Genji is on top of him. Meowmere will just go ahead and rappel right back on up there. Now he's falling back as the Winston has gone into the back line. Now they are on the hunt for Lair. Meowmere, even through his teammate, gets the shot, gets another one, takes that Renet there. He's a one-man army once again, pushing forward, gets the mid-air shot, will not finish off that Lucio, but now he's at 53 HP. He's got to be careful. He does drop back. He will get healed up by his teammates, but man, Meowmere just shutting down the attack coming out from Toronto by himself.
Widowmaker, she did receive a buff, but it looks like Meowmere is running the quick scope perk. That was absolutely insane, and Cincinnati has just completely dominated the well portion of their map. With Widowmaker, that's the weirdest thing too. They didn't dominate Ruins with the Widowmaker. They are dominating the well with Widowmaker.
Yeah, he is going to have to fall back as the Winston jumped onto them. Actually, all the backliners try to get there. We do have the sound barrier, but
that's
huge
big.
Earth Shatter coming on out. But there is the self-destruct. It's going to be GG and Mr. Bleeple both getting triple kills there. Now it's all down to Undead Donut 76 taking out Renanthera, and there we go. University of Cincinnati will hold on. They will tie it up 1-1 here on Ilios.
And the battle of Diva versus Diva in a Graviton. Everybody dies. That was 3 kills to both divas, and thankfully for Cincinnati fans, they had enough of their heroes outside of the destruction zone. But geez, that was the first time I've ever seen close range, point blank diva ults on both sides. That was crazy.
It's just like mutually assured destruction, right? They're both stuck in Graviton Surges, just facing off like, well,
you have a couple of seconds.
Let's
Yeah,
press
this
Q
is my
and see
life
what happens,
now.
guys.
Like,
it was like Russian roulette.
You can just kind of just emote and just wave to the opponents is all you get blown to bits.
But University of Cincinnati did a better job of blowing the opposing team to bits.
They did a better job of not getting blown to bits.
No, that's right. There it is. And then the cleanup afterwards. Now, we're still seeing the triple tank composition coming out from Toronto. It's going to be Lair this time. Once again, picking up that Winston. Afraid that possibly there is a Widowmaker for Meowmere. But instead, Meowmere this time playing the Genji here. Oh, we do have Renan there dropping pretty darn low in the back, but he's going to be able to keep himself alive with that Biotic Grenade, and Meowmere will fall back as the Winston's on the hunt. Down to about 20 HP, but he survives.
And that health pack he's looking for right now. He's not able to get a sleep dart there, taking down the Winston. No one has gone down on either side just yet until Talons gets the kill on Biggie Nose. 5v6 for Toronto. They're already on the point. They're trying to they do take it, and Talons is going wild.
Yeah, Dimes will clean up Meowmere here, and Toronto should be able to establish a really good defense as they actually push forward with the Primal Rage, picking off these stragglers here. Now it's all this Devo that's left, but oh no, Lair might have gone too far. Nope, he's going to be able to go ahead and hop out from there.
It's really cool to see all the hero adaptations from these guys. We've seen Lair play DPS heroes. Now he's playing the Winston, the tank. We've seen Meowmere play 5 heroes now, I want to say. Reaper, Soldier, McCree, Widowmaker, and Genji. Toronto currently with the point, 30% in their favor. They have a couple of ultimates up. The rest of them are going to be very close, but it's Cincinnati's Soldier that starts it off.
Yeah, Tactical Visor with that nano boost, and that's just shredding through the tank line, even taking a Renan there. So that's a double kill going over in favor of University of Cincinnati as Undead Donut finds a third onto Talents. That should allow them to take the point. Mr. Bleeple dropping low. It's going to be Rukata that gets that kill onto him. And after about 49% for Toronto, Cincinnati will flip it back.
Unfortunately, too, for Toronto, they tried to use their ultimates in that fight, but Cincinnati jumped the gun. They had the earlier start with the Soldier on a combo, and because of that, they already found 2 kills, making it a 4v6 instantly. And then once Toronto used their ultimates, they weren't able to successfully make anything happen. Now, a couple of swaps, Talons on the Reaper. They have the Diva Zarya combo, but Winston jumping in, trying to get under Donut.
Graviton Surge, here comes the self-destruct, but actually it's only going to land onto 2 as the others were actually outside. And yeah, Funana coming in, taking out Meowmere. Now the fight is on the point as Lair and Talons just doing work on the back line of Cincinnati. It's all down to GGG. He's going to fall, and Toronto will flip it back.
You don't always have to get that Wombo combo on 4, 5, 6 members. The fact that they were able to eliminate 2 heroes out of the equation instantly meant that Toronto were able to win that team fight and regain control of the point. So Cincinnati, how will they respond? We see the Winston jumping in. They've been protecting him really well, but he's got pretty aggressive. Does have Primal Rage, though.
Yeah, he's got the Primal Rage, and now he's creating chaos, or trying his best to create chaos, but he will drop down lower as there are team fights all over the place right now. Talons gets the first kill onto Rukata, and Undead Donut has to be careful as we do have
Boosted Reaper.
The Boosted Reaper pushing forward. Now Tactical Visor popped by Undead Donut. He's not going to find a kill quite yet. There we go. Goes down onto Funana, but he's getting hunted down by that Winston. Has to be careful as Dimes does drop low. Will he be able to clean him up? No, Dimes survives for now as Saber and GGG come in. There we go. Now they're starting to clean up the side of Toronto. 91%. They got to get on the board and flip it soon.
Man, James, Undead Donut is an absolute beast. You know, he's playing like frontline Soldier, dodging, not getting hit enough, finding frags, and just completely swinging the team fight in the favor of University of Cincinnati. So now the Bearcats get control of the point again, but they're pretty far behind in terms of percentage. They need to make that all up.
Yeah, Nano Boost does come out on the side of the University of Toronto. No kills going over quite yet, but he gets booped off. He does find 1 kill. GGG was able to answer in kind, but still things going in favor of University of Toronto right now. We did have the self-destruct, but it's not enough. Doesn't find anyone. Mr. Bleeple now on the hunt for these stragglers.
On Ilios here, this third map we've seen, it looks like Toronto is going to get the point again. There's 1 hero contesting it, but Tracer is taken down, and I want to say that's it, Jamerson.
99 and 100. University of Toronto back in the lead in this best of 5 here on Ilios. 2-1 against Cincinnati.
this is exactly what we expected out of this matchup. You know, back and forth, back and forth. Cincinnati had a much clearer victory on the well portion of the map, so we'll see if we go back. We are going to go back, so Meow instantly swapping to the Widowmaker. We'll see whether or not Toronto has made adjustments to deal with that composition, or whether or not we're going to go to a 5th Ilios map.
Yeah, this is their bread and butter on the side of University of Cincinnati. Now, taking a look at the Toronto composition, there's really only 2 people, possibly 3 if Renanthera wants to try and take the sniper battle against him, but I wouldn't.
That's in that situation, the Widowmaker's definitely the favorite. And in lore, for any of you Overwatch lore buffs. We'll see how it works, though. Saber, of course, speed boosting his allies on point to get there as soon as possible, and take a look at Undead Donut on Soldier 76. Looks like we see the Winston going around the side, so they're actually anticipating the Widowmaker, but still, Renanthera gets picked off by the Widow.
Damn.
You know, history bound to repeat itself.
Yeah, Meowmere doing a good job of actually trying to stay away from this Winston. Are they going to be able to clean that up? Yeah, that's going to be easy kill for them. Points about to unlock, and man advantage going over to Cincinnati.
And this is so difficult now, because how the hell do you contest Meowmere on Widowmaker? The position you get after winning the first fight on control point is basically you have control of wherever you want to go. You know where the opponent's going to walk through. So Meowmere can simply grapple away if he does get threatened by the enemy. It's going to be very difficult for Toronto to get onto him properly.
Yeah, so already 16% on the board for Cincinnati here as Meowmere is going to jump to the top. He does not make the landing, though, but Rukata finds the kill onto Lair, so now that's one threat that Meowmere does not have to worry about. Meowmere gets the kill onto Talons. Bleeple finally answering on back. Did the Soldier 76 get booped off? He did by Funana. Rukata, though, coming in for his team. Biggie Nose taking out his counterpart, and Cincinnati will maintain control over this point.
The entirety of Cincinnati played that fight really well, but I want to mention, again, we saw Meowmere get jumped on by the Winston, but after he saw the jump pack was down, he simply shifted to safety, and while he didn't actually land where he wanted to, at least I believe he didn't want to land there, it didn't matter. He was able to get to safety and get a lot of frags there. So Cincinnati now 50%. We see the Graviton Surge used by Cincinnati. A lot of Toronto caught in that.
Yeah, the follow-up not quite there. Meowmere was able to find the kill onto Lair, and there we go. Rukata once again doing such a great job on this Reinhardt so far. Talons has to be careful as Meowmere does want to find that kill.
It's really fascinating how much of a difference the different maps, the sub-maps have made, because Well has been completely dominated by Cincinnati. You can see all of Toronto's grouped up there. They have a lot of resources to work with. They're trying to make something happen, but they just haven't so far.
We do have the Graviton Surge coming out. Sound barrier on the side of University of Toronto, but that's not going to be enough to keep Talons alive as he gets pinned. Undead Donut pushes forward. He's got that Tactical Visor and the Nano Boost, but the Primal Rage does come out from the Winston on the side of University of Toronto. Mr. Bleep actually falling to his death there. Is Lair going to be able to get the knockoff? No, Meowmere shuts him down. He did get the knockoff onto GGG, though, and Funana takes out Biggie Nose, but 98, 99% on the board, and Meowmere shuts down anyone trying to contest at this point. We have Talons even going for the heads up, but Meowmere takes it, and that's going to tie it up. We're going to a map number 5 here.
To add insult to injury, you know, even if Talons would have won that Widowmaker duel, it probably wouldn't have mattered. But for Meowmere getting that kill, that's got to sting.
Man, Meowmere definitely the difference maker here on Ilios. He's going to go ahead and switch off to McCree. Toronto Talons might be sticking on to the Widowmaker.
Well, now here's the interesting question is that how do University of Cincinnati win this map? We've seen them win both of the well maps, but not Ruins and not Lighthouse. So adjustments made on both sides. This is where either team can find the advantage in the series. It's going to be really interesting to see if Toronto are able to win it again.
Yeah, triple dive composition for the side of Toronto. They've got the Tracer. Never mind, Lair has switched off from that Genji. He's going to be picking up 76. 76, such a crucial pick nowadays, especially with how well he works with that Nano Boost. Now, both teams meeting at the excavation site here.
And the Donut on the Soldier 76, putting some damage down onto the Diva, though. She is being healed by the Ana, as we can see. Funana taking a little bit of damage. Talons on the backside on the Tracer, doing what he can to harass. Needs to be careful, though, because, yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, got put to sleep. Great sleep dart coming out from Renanthera there. Now they're pushing forward with the man advantage. We do have Meowmere getting into the backline. He's got his flashbang at the ready. Is going to miss it. Misses Fan. The hammer has to be careful. Drops down. He's going to die to dimes. But Rukata finds the kill onto Mr. Bleeple.
A bit of an awkward flashbang there, but it didn't matter since Cincinnati was able to find that initial pick anyway. when you have crowd control from Ana or McCree, it can be difficult for a Tracer, or even if you just get destroyed by that Helix rocket. You know, death is the greatest form of crowd control. I'm curious to see whether or not Talons decides to stick on this Tracer, maybe try to use the ultimate, or if he's going to swap.
No, he's going to go ahead and swap off to that McCree. So unfortunately, even though he was at 70% ultimate charge there, did not
You just got to give it up.
Yeah. Now, we do have Dimes pushing forward. He's almost at 100% charge, was doing so much damage to the tanks. You got to be careful. Even through the nerfs there, Zarya does so much damage, can maintain such a high charge. But Dimes, there we go. Talking about Zarya's, it's going to be him getting the first kill onto GG. Undead Donut does go ahead and use that tactical visor. Will force the D.Va mech out, but now Lair and Talon's coming in. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade as Riccardo does get the kill onto Lair, though, but now Undead Donut getting hunted down by Talons here. Talons, does he have the flashbang to try and win this battle? Dimes gets the kill onto Riccardo. That's going to allow Toronto to take the point back, but Cincinnati did get 54% on the board.
We saw Soldier 76 in conjunction with Ana from both sides, but the positioning was in favor of Toronto, so they're able to get the point back. And, you know, this one looks like it might come down to the very last few moments, because both Toronto and Cincinnati going back and forth. Now Cincinnati have their tank ultimates to work with. They can start fights very easily, but they have to land those abilities. Dimes, on the other hand, as Graviton is fairly charged, breaks that shield.
And yeah, there is no D.Va on the side of Cincinnati to try and eat that up, so they have to be careful. Oh, but here's the huge Graviton Surge coming out, and that's going to be Toronto with an easy cleanup. Biggie knows, does get a kill onto Rennet there, and Riccardo tries to keep it alive, but no, Mr. Bleeple will finish him off.
Very nicely done by Dimes, just catching so many of the opponents off guard, and they're able to win that team fight, get so many frags without needing to use any other follow-up. Self-destruct was kept. We see Talons with that Deadeye still has it available. Lair and Funana are close to their ultimates as well, so even though Cincinnati can use their ultimates right now, in a moment they're going to be about equal. And speaking of equal, Toronto just passed in terms of percentage.
Yeah, so now it's at 60% to 54% as Cincinnati push forward. They're going to push forward with that tactical visor along with the nano boost. But yeah, Undead Donut gets a triple kill off of it. Is he going to get any more? As the rest of the members are falling back. Now Mr. Bleeple just contesting for this point, trying to keep it alive for as long as possible. He's going to go down, but that's still going to allow University of Toronto to get it up to about 75% before it does go over.
Once again, the Soldier ulti, it's all about positioning there. You have free damage, you have free boosted damage if there's no shield on the enemy side. And we saw Undead Donut finding so many kills in succession simply because the enemy team was caught out. So once again, Cincinnati with control at the point that we saw a lot of resources, a lot of ultimates used right now, so both economies will be low. Meowmere, though, if he can get a big Deadeye off here, he could secure this map for his team.
Yeah, Toronto getting closer and closer to that Graviton and self-destruct combo there. That's their next cycle. We'll see what Cincinnati have to offer. They do have the Deadeye, like you had mentioned, and they almost have the nano boost. But there we go, Graviton Surge comes on out. Do we have the self-destruct? It's gonna get eaten up. No, the shield went down. Mr. Bleeple gets a double kill off of that. Undead Donut does find one onto Lair, but it might not be enough as he gets cleaned up by Talons. So 83% and ticking up to 90% on the side of Cincinnati.
And the timing is going to be so awkward too, because Cincinnati is probably going to be able to touch the point, but the thing is they are going to be scattered. We see the Tracer trying to do what she can, taking a little bit of damage, is going to contest it. Meowmere recalls back, so his HP is up, and he's going to be able to touch the point again. The rest of Cincinnati coming in. They have the Ana ultimate to work with, but that's it, James.
Yeah,
the Bustio.
Unfortunately, it went onto that Lucio, so Saber trying his best here, but Talons and Lair are already starting to clean up here. Now University of Toronto just centimeters away, actually just seconds away, excuse me, as Talons finds the kill onto Riccardo. We did have the Earth Shatter coming out, but there was no follow-up for Cincinnati there, and that's going to be University of Toronto taking this map number 3 against Cincinnati.
It was back and forth, but Toronto did not lose a single non-well map, and unfortunately that boosted Lucio, the Bustio at the end there, was probably not what Cincinnati were looking for. So let's take a look at the play of the game from Mr. Bleeple on D.Va. We saw so many of these, but just gets the setup and destroys, insta-kills 5 members on the enemy team. That was crazy.
What the best part about one of the D.Va changes that came in line like, what, a month and a half ago? Because she doesn't die to her own mech's self-destruction anymore. She can actually watch it. Just sit there like, yeah,
well, that's why you see all the posts on Reddit and stuff, all the, like, the, you know, just taunt.
Yeah, just right
just
there.
The BM, right? Oh. So that is the kind of thing that can tilt people in a game. Where it's like, it's cool if you combo me, you know, like respect, but then the opponent's like spraying all over you. And Crouching up and down.
And when you're stuck in the Graviton Surge, you can't do anything but look at them while they're just like hardy moding over at you.
Yeah, feels bad, man.
But yeah, that is going to be Toronto taking the lead in the series 2-1. Remember, this is a best of 5, so first to 3. Now they're just one map away from being crowned the Kings of the North.
And interestingly enough, we are going to be going to another control map. So Lijiang Tower, and we saw Watchpoint Gibraltar, the first map taken by Cincinnati, but since then Toronto have remained steadfast. So we'll see whether or not, you know, Cincinnati's counterpick now going to Lijiang can help them swing the tide back in their favor and tie up the series 2-2.
Trying to imagine if they're good Widow spots. I know sometimes people will play Widow on Garden.
You could probably also run her Night Market if you set up on the second floor of the high ground, but you won't be able to control the point that well.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see more Meowmere Widowmaker. I love watching his Widow.
Yeah, I don't think it's that he's like a Widow one-trick. I think he just really likes playing around that specific point.
Yeah, and he's really good at it.
Yeah, and he is really good at it.
So yeah, we're starting off here on Garden. Taking a look at the composition so far, nothing out of the ordinary, pretty darn standard. Talent is going to be on the Roadhog there, so look for those environmental kills as people, you know, stand way too close to the Koi Garden.
But they're fishy.
It's going to be some fishy hooks.
Ooh.
You're going to be sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, oh geez, that's rough.
Yeah. Now, so Lair, I'm surprised that he's going with the Tracer instead of a Genji here.
Also because we did see Talons run Tracer before, so very specific strat here. They want to run the 3 tank, have the Tracer as the pivot. DPS can get around the map really easily. Gonna see if they decide to meet up on this bottom half of the map over the bridge, or if they go cross-directional.
Nope,
wait, what is Reinhardt doing? Why is the Reinhardt alone?
Oh, no.
Oh, do they recognize this? Oh, no.
That is a pretty big mistake, and that's going to allow the hook to come in, and Meowmere is going to be the first to go down there. Unfortunately, there was no Reinhardt shield there. It looked like a little bit of miscommunication on the side of Cincinnati.
A rare misstep in terms of communication between Rukata and Cincinnati. Generally, they've been on top of this. But because of that, James, all of a sudden, Toronto, they get that first hook with the Roadhog, and that's going to be the point.
Yeah. Now, on the side of Cincinnati, they are running the double hit scan DPS here. Talon's not able to actually land that, as we do have Rukata and the rest of the team actually pushing forward. Now, they are missing one DPS member, as he is still caught out in the back there as they're pushing Lair on the back line here, getting some free damage off. Actually has to be careful because he was in the middle of all of them. Now, the hook does come out, but Talon's not able to get that much damage off. We do have the Graviton Surge coming out, but still no follow-up. Biggie Nose gets 1 kill onto Dimes.
See Lair now, the sound barrier from both sides. He's trying to do what he can. Everyone's so healthy, though, it's going to be really hard to deal with. And actually, the D-Mech Diva gets taken out by GGG, so that Graviton, the first kill we saw, enabled Cincinnati to retake the point, and it took them a little bit. They had a bit of a mistake early on, but James, they are definitely still going to be fighting.
Yeah, 39% for University of Toronto. We still have a long game ahead of us. Now, on the side of Toronto, they're close to 3 ultimates here. They're close to the Graviton Surge and Self-Destruct. They could also combo it with the whole hog if they want. That's still a ton of damage to come out. Cincinnati have 3 ultimates of their own, though, so we could see Rukata going in with that nano boost on the Reinhardt. Now GGG finds the first kill onto Lair, though. Now the Graviton Surge does come out. Here comes the Self-Destruct. Is it going to land onto many? It doesn't matter as Meowmere comes in. He gets a triple kill off of that Deadeye. Mr. Bleeple, unfortunately, only getting the 1.
Meowmere doing so much good for University of Cincinnati. The interesting thing is when you use that Diva mech, try to go for the Self-Destruct combo, the fact is you can't defend your team anymore. You're not going to be able to put out that defense matrix. And then we saw Meowmere with a huge 3-man Deadeye. Now he's swapped to Reaper. He's playing all the positions his team needs him to. Cincinnati is ticking up. They have control. They have more percentage now, and they have a couple of ultimates to work with as well, like Undead's Soldier 76 ulti, but it's not going to be enough.
Tactical Visor getting eaten up mostly by Mr. Bleeple, as Lair was able to find a double kill with his Pulse Bomb, and now University of Cincinnati slowly crumbling here as Dimes picks up the kill onto Meowmere, but they were able to get 64% on the board before it got flipped over for Toronto.
Still, this game is so back and forth. It's so close. 64% is going to be overtaken pretty quickly by Toronto, up to Cincinnati now, up to really GGG on this Zarya to make a play for his team with the Graviton. They could go for a cheeky one against the wall, but they are just going to go for it.
Yeah, Graviton coming out from University of Cincinnati there.
That's
going to
three.
be Donut and GGG coming in. Rukata was able to get the double kill off of that. Now Dimes is one of the remaining members as Layer's trying in the back line to keep it alive, but immediately University of Cincinnati will flip it on over. Toronto only at 62%.
Mr. Bleeple on the Diva was one of the only hopes Toronto had to protect Cincinnati's, to protect them from the Graviton surge. But since they didn't have it up, the supports went down instantly in that ultimate, and as a result, Cincinnati regained control of the point, and now they are sitting very comfortable. One more team fight could mean this first Lijiang map.
Yeah, 2 ultimates on the side of Cincinnati, but also on the side of Toronto. Now we do have the Nano Boost coming out along with that Sound Barrier. It did land onto the Tracer. Pulse Bomb Layer will get the kill onto Malmir. That's a 1-for-1 trade as GGG was able to clean up Talent. And now GGG coming up huge for his team so far, getting a second onto Ren and Thera. Now we have Undead Donut trying to face off against Layer, and Undead Donut will clean that up. 99% on the board, overtime ticking out, and they're going to be able to clean up Dimes here very shortly. Biggie Nose is the one that gets that kill, and Cincinnati will strike the first blow here on Lijiang.
One thing we don't talk about too much about Zarya players, besides her ultimate, is the fact that their management of their shields matters so much in terms of how much DPS they do. So a slight reduction in the patch, this 1.5 patch, it charges instead of 40% off of a full shield, instead of 50%, you get 40% if all the damage is done, and GGG consistently has had the highest energy scores in the TCS. So very well done by him to find frags even without his Graviton. Then, of course, when he has Graviton available, make plays happen. And with that, Cincinnati take the first point.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we see Zarya mains just filling up like the top leaderboards. She provides so much utility and so much damage. And despite all the nerfs that she's been receiving over the last few months, she's still a top pick for most teams. Now we are on to Night Market here, and it's going to be Toronto going straight to the point and just avoiding the majority of Cincinnati. Now they do have control over the point, but it's going to be Biggie Nose that gets the kill onto Ren and Thera. So the support down, that's huge for them as Undead Donut takes out Mr. Bleeple, and now things going in the favor of Cincinnati as they are cleaning up the rest of Toronto.
Whatever Toronto was expecting to do with positioning there did not work out, and it's surprising that with a Reinhardt as the tank, as the front line, that they lost someone so quickly.
When they were able to stagger Dimes' death for a pretty long time there, so already 5% on the board for Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see from Toronto's side, just have someone get picked off so early on, because now it's going to be quite the task to come back from this. Cincinnati is going to be close to their ultimates all around. You see Biggie Nose very close to his ultimate. Ren and Thera only about 40%, 50%. And Undead Donut and Saber connect to find a kill onto the Reaper. So it's a 5v6 in favor of Cincinnati. They are looking for more.
Yeah, the charge did come out. GGG gets the kill onto Mr. Bleeple, already 26%, and they're forcing them back.
Yeah, this game right now, very heavily in favor of Cincinnati. Ilios was much closer. It looks like Cincinnati, they either made the adjustments they needed to or they preferred this map all along, but they are looking very strong on Lijiang. Meowmere very close to having his Deadeye up. We see the defense from Toronto, the offense I should say, is trying to make something happen up here on the high ground. But that shield is taking a lot more damage than Cincinnati's is.
And I like the positioning coming out from the side of Cincinnati. Deadeye is popped, but unfortunately it will not connect to any members. It did do a lot of damage to the shield of Reinhardt and did go down immediately. Rukata picking up a double kill on that Reinhardt before he finally goes down.
And it's just so hard to get onto the point when you're this far behind in terms of ulti advantage, in terms of positioning. You saw the members of Toronto, you know, they were able to get onto the high ground. They were able to sit up there and then try to jump down. And even though none of them were caught by the Deadeye, the follow-up was all Cincinnati needed. Now they're one team fight away from taking this Night Market portion without any contest from Toronto. But Toronto have so many ultimates to work with.
Yeah, so now they are going to push forward. They have to be careful of the boops, but now we do have GGG. He's almost got his Graviton Surge. He's waiting for the rest of the members. Now Graviton Surge does come out, lands onto about 3-4 members. It's going to be Undead Donut and Meowmere coming in, get the first 2 initial frags on the side of University of Cincinnati, and it looks like they're going to be able to 100-0 University of Toronto here.
Really looking like a different team. Perfect play from Cincinnati there. You saw the sound barrier from Toronto, but it wasn't enough because the Graviton just caught them all up and destroyed them. Then also props to Undead Donut and the rest of the team with the follow-up they had there. So a 2-0 advantage on Lijiang. If they're able to win this map, University of Cincinnati will tie up the series, and we will be going to a 5th game in this best of 5.
And this is kind of what we were expecting. Like you said, #1 and #2 seeds coming out of the North. So yeah, the King of the North title hotly contested.
Yeah, they're going blow for blow in different ways. You know, Cincinnati had the advantage on Ilios when it was a particular sub-map, and they're very clearly having the advantage here on Lijiang Tower. I'm curious to see whether or not Toronto has any fight left in them in terms of this map, specifically Lijiang, because James, really, that last map was completely one-sided.
All right, so now we've got Dimes picking up the Genji here as we do push forward on the control point. As both teams meet by their health packs, they got to be careful as the Sleep Dart did come out onto that Winston to charge, but he will be able to survive through it. Meowmere gets the kill onto Lair, but take a look at Dimes getting free damage as he is able to clean up Rukata there, but Meowmere coming in for a double kill of his own. Now he has to be careful, but Undead Donut will be able to take out that Genji. Now things once again going in favor of University of Cincinnati.
It is all about Meowmere here, just finding so many kills for his team. The supports are alive, but look at that jumping headshot from Meowmere, catching the Ana while she was jumping away from him. And geez, this guy, if it's McCree, if it's Reaper, Genji, whatever he's playing on, he's always on the scoreboard for Cincinnati.
Yeah, his hit scan has been absolutely superb. We saw, like you said, that Widowmaker before. The flick shots coming out from him have been fantastic. Now Talon's trying his best to try and confuse the Cincinnati defense here, but they are just going to go ahead and back away. He actually almost dashes to his death there, as Dimes is going to go ahead and pop his Dragon Blade, gets a double kill. He's getting the resets now. He's on top of this. Meowmere goes down. Dimes picking up a triple kill there. That should allow Toronto to take the point. They are still contesting on the side of University of Cincinnati, but there we go. With the death of GGG, they'll be able to flip it back. 38% on the board for Cincinnati, though.
All right, so Toronto have some fight left in them on this map. And honestly, a 38% is not that big, but Undead Donut has the ultimate combo. Now he's looking for the Genji. Genji makes it out.
Yeah, Undead Donut pushing forward with that nano boost along with that tactical advisor was able to get him down. Meowmere was actually the one that killed Dimes there. Now we do have the sound barrier on the side of Cincinnati as they push forward. They already have the mana advantage. Now they have the shield advantage, but Talent gets the kill onto Meowmere, evening it out. There we go, Undead Donut, Helix Rocket to the monkey, will kill himself as Reneth there with a huge biotic nade gets a double kill there.
That was pretty funny, the ragdoll physics against the wall.
Yeah.
So take a breather, Soldier 76, take a breather. But a really nice defense from Toronto. They had to use quite a few resources to get that, but they are able to. They're slowly coming back in this. They have the lead now in terms of percentage, but they're still going to have to deal with a lot that University of Cincinnati can throw at them. Ooh, Dimes, man. Dimes and Genji this round has been fantastic.
Yeah, he really has been causing so much havoc for them as Toronto are engaging upon Cincinnati. They do have the man advantage. Rukata going in with the charge, gets the kill onto Dimes, evening it out. Now they're pushing forward. Do they have the advantage? Rukata dropping really low. Has to be careful. He is getting healed up. There we go. He's all back to full health there as we do have Saber and Meowmere coming in. That was the Graviton surge from Cincinnati.
That was absolutely disgusting. Cincinnati easily going to be able to get the point after that complete wipe onto Toronto. Now Toronto got quite a bit of control on that after their initial take, and they're going to have a couple of ultimates to work with as well. So we'll see if Dimes can come up big for his team again with Dragon Blade. He has a nano boost up. Dragon Blade is very nearly available. There we go. He could go for a dash now. It connects with the Tracer on the backside, and are they going to go for it?
Yeah, we do have the Deadeye getting popped, and it's going to be Dimes getting the reflect onto Meowmere, and that was huge because that was 2 ultimates committed to him. Dimes going in, he's got a triple with that Dragon Blade. He's starting to get the resets now. He's going to get the 4th onto Saber, and Biggie knows.
2 heroes, 1 slice. Sorry about that. Dimes popping off. Toronto
Started it off with the deflect too.
Yeah, that is the ultimate disrespect there. McCree jumping in. Undead Donut actually finding the frag onto Talent, and a lot of ultimates from Cincinnati here.
Graviton Surge is out as Undead Donut is still continuing to push forward. Now we do have the Nano Boost onto the Winston, and we can see Winston doing a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter as Meowmere gets the kill onto Ren and Thera. Now he does have the Primal Rage. Mr. Bleeple trying his best, but he's going up against the entirety of Cincinnati. Will finally fall to Meowmere.
So aggressive from Cincinnati, and it works out for their team perfectly. They had the Sound Barrier to work with. Undead Donut came up big with the damage from his Tactical Visor, and once again, Cincinnati with the control of the point. So even though Dimes, the rest of Toronto, have been doing pretty well, you know, all of a sudden, Cincinnati one team fight away from evening up the series.
Yep, Dimes once again trying to make miracles happen with this Genji. He's pretty far. He's actually pretty close to his Dragon Blade, but we do have the Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt on the side of University of Cincinnati. The rest of Toronto trying their best to kite, but it's going to be GGG that finds the kill onto Lair. We have an Earth Shatter lands onto Dimes, and he's so close to falling, but GGG coming in, gets a double kill for himself, overtime ticking down, and University of Cincinnati on the verge of shutting out Toronto here on Lijiang Towers. That's the cleanup. It's all down to Dimes, but no, Undead Donut will easily be able to clean that up, and Cincinnati will shut out Toronto here on Lijiang 3-0.
And in what a dominant fashion. That back and forth matchup we saw in Ilios, it was a totally different situation here on Lijiang. Let's take a look at the play of the game. The play of the game was Dimes Genji. He had a fantastic time on this Genji, but still, the rest of Cincinnati were able to handle him well enough. And this is just...
Yeah, this didn't even show the deflect
right, this missed the first part, but yeah, that was what, 4 kills in a row, got the deflect, and then got the double kill on the supports with one slice of his sword. Very well done by Dimes.
Yeah, but despite his heroics on the side of the University of Toronto, Cincinnati still able to shut them out 3-0 on Lijiang Towers here. So Ilios was close, 3-2, but here Lijiang was a completely different story.
And it's good to see, too, from Cincinnati after winning the first map but then losing 2 back-to-back, that they are still very resilient and are able to take it to Toronto. You know, going into this final map, we don't know what to expect just yet. It's Toronto's counter pick, but they've got to pick something strong here.
Yeah, and we've got a series right now. This is map number 5. It's all coming down to this. This next map will decide who's going to be the King of the North here in the Tespa Collegiate Series. And you have to remember, there's a lot on the line. Not just school pride, not just regional pride, but an extra $7,000 in scholarships to the winning team.
Yeah, and you get to compete for the major share of the over $100,000 grand prize. I mean, it's distributed over the players, but it's what, I want to say, $6,000 per player for first place.
First place is $6,000 per player.
Which is quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. But the deciding map for this series, we're going to Route 66.
Okay. So all we've seen have been these control maps as well as the payload maps. Route 66 is a pure payload map, so it's just the street and the payload, but it's the smallest, shortest, both time-wise and distance-wise in the game.
Yeah, and it was Cincinnati that was able to win on Gibraltar, the other full payload escort map. They're 3-1 against Toronto here, so Toronto must have something in their pockets.
We'll see what they have in their pockets. We saw how well Eichenwalde worked for them in terms of their counterpick strategies, and Route 66 definitely, you can definitely do some crazy stuff here.
Mm-hmm. Will we be seeing the attack Bastion, Meowmere? Come on. No. But he is going to be starting off on the Widow, it looks like, possibly. I mean, he's
that would be interesting.
This is one of those maps where you can go for the Widowmaker.
Yeah, Widowmaker, also something we see Korean teams play often in terms of an offensive role. And on this map in particular, it can work for both sides, but she is still relatively rare. However, a player of Meowmere's caliber, you know, you definitely want to pull that out here. This is sort of championship point. It's one of his iconic heroes. Oh, man, but he's swapping to the Bastion. It's hard to gauge whether or not he's actually going to go for it. There's still so much time left, but this would be really cool.
Yeah, taking a look at that, though, Saber on the Mercy, they can just prop Meowmere on the Bastion on the payload. Rukata just shields up so they can't, you know, get through, and then the damage-boosted Bastion just shreds through a Reinhardt shield.
James, I think he's going to stick with it. Oh, he's got the Mercy. He's totally going to stick with it.
All right, so here we are, attacked Bastion, guys. This is not solo queue.
No, don't do this at home, kids. So here's the thing. He's going to be able to set up on the payload just fine. The payload moves for him. So that's taken care of. That's why you see on these pure payload maps, sometimes Bastion is used on offense. It's all about what can they do. Can they break the shield fast enough and find a hook, or can they even catch someone out of position? Because if so, Cincinnati can win the team fight easily. They turn the corner, and now they know that they have a Bastion set up.
And take a look at how quickly that barrier on the side of Toronto goes down. They try to go for that hook, but instead they're just going to go ahead and wall this off. But still, he does so much damage to them. He does get tagged by Helix Rocket. He has to be careful, but now he has fallen back. And now take a look at how quickly he melts the members of University of Toronto. Does take a few shots to the face, has to be careful, as now May is on the hunt for him. But no, she's just going to go ahead and wall that off. With Sleep Darts come out onto both Reinhardt. It's going to be Dimes that takes out Meowmere. Hook comes in from Undead Donut, but he has all the support to keep him alive. It's going to be Dimes that picks up a double kill, taking out Biggie Nose, and Layers comes in to finish off Undead Donut. Layer pushing forward with that tactical visor, but he will go down, going a little bit too aggro there.
Great response from the defense. Toronto backing up. No one went down. No one got hooked after the shield was removed, so they were able to deal with the Bastion quite effectively. And Meowmere, I'm curious to see whether or not he sticks with it, because he had a good amount of support. You know, Saber did a good job of trying to heal him the entire time while also applying damage buff. He's still going to stick onto this Bastion, but he isn't set up on the point, which makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, he was put to sleep there, but he is going to be able to reposition himself. Lair trying to deflect against him, but GGG finds the first kill onto Renanthera. Now Lair, he does have his deflect down, so this is where he can actually finish him off. But it doesn't matter. Enough distraction. His talents is able to get the kill onto Meowmere. We do have the resurrection coming out on the side of University of Cincinnati. Now they do have the man advantage as they do continue to push forward. Hook does miss from Undead Donut, but no one, is contesting right now.
Zarya on the point, trying to do what they can. Earthshatter comes out. Dimes gets destroyed. It's still actually alive. Finally goes down. And the sound barrier from the defense could be what Toronto needs. The rest of the team is running, and Mr. Bleeple is going to be hooked, but he's so tanky right now.
Earthshatter did come out from the side of University of Toronto. It's going to be Mr. Bleeple and Renanthera coming in for the kills. Lair with the double kill on that Genji. Sleep Dart even. Renanthera doing such a great job on this defense.
And so many ultimates were used by Cincinnati. We saw a 3-man resurrect, I want to say. They caught quite a few people in that Graviton Surge, except the timing was off, and because of that, they weren't able to win the team fight. And look at this, James. Meowmere, it's the last, potentially the last chance. They're probably going to have 1 or 2 more team fights to go with, but the Bastion not working, so he's going to go to his iconic Widowmaker. Nope, he's just trolling us. He's going to swap to McCree now, and they need to figure something out because a lot of time has been wasted so far.
Yeah, and this payload's in an awkward position where they're not able to get on it and get that passive healing from it, but Meowmere did some damage onto the high ground members there as Mr. Bleeple goes in for the charge, but he went too deep. GGG is able to get that first kill. So now they are going to be able to push forward with the man advantage, but Meowmere gets taken out by Talons. Funada even coming in. Take a look. Lair starting to get the resets on that Genji as Talons is going to go ahead and use that tactical visor, just clean up the last remaining members of Cincinnati.
Someone's still contesting, but they should go down pretty quickly. Yep, Saber getting taken down. And Mr. Bleeple was a little bit over-aggressive there, but the rest of his team was able to set up, so it didn't actually matter. Talons had a great position where he was essentially unnoticed by Cincinnati until it was too late, and because of that, Toronto defend again. Now, both teams are very low on ultimates. Renanthera's Nano Boost might be critical here, but this could really be the last chance, the last offense University of Cincinnati have.
Yeah, Rukata almost has his Earth Shatter as Undead Donut finds a kill onto Lair, but Mr. Bleeple answering right on back. Renanthera was, Biggie Nose was not able to actually stay alive there, and take a look at the defense coming out from Toronto as Dimes is able to get the kill onto Rukata, and Talons finishes off Meowmere. Now, we did have someone trying to backcap there, but unfortunately did not work as Undead Donut does go down. Overtime ticking away, and that's going to be University of Toronto putting a stop to Cincinnati here on Route 66.
My goodness, Route 66, what a counter pick by Toronto. We saw Cincinnati bring out the special strats, that Bastion, but it backfired. It didn't work at all how they intended. And then once the point was too far, they weren't able to get onto it and use that healing to their advantage, like you mentioned. And this is now all of a sudden so tough for the Bearcats. I mean, Cincinnati fans must be holding their breath because, James, this is not a far distance.
No, it's not. And taking a look at the side of University of Toronto right now, they are indicating that they might want to go for this dive composition. Talons on Tracer, Lair picking up the Genji. So we'll see if they bring any tank support along for that. But currently they're hovering over Zarya and Reinhardt.
Yeah, they have a bit of time to make a change. 60 seconds now once this timer is down. But I'm really curious to see if University of Cincinnati decides to run with this, because May on defense is not traditionally something we've seen very commonly on Route 66.
But May is still one of those heroes that builds up their ultimate really quickly in comparison to others.
Yeah, because of that, she's been adjusted. She had 2 changes, a 15% ulti increase to her charge, and then that was an individual one on top of the global one. So even though her ulti has been changed, you're right, it does charge pretty quickly. But the thing is, in terms of finding an early pick, like, Mei can sustain herself well, but you're not going to be able to block something as effectively on this map because there isn't a major choke point on this first point. So again, Cincinnati, they really have to have an amazing defense to defend this, because all Toronto need to do is capture this first point, and that's going to be the series.
Yeah, remember guys, this is a best of 5. It is tied up 2-2. Now University of Toronto just 83.09 meters away from securing an extra $7,000 and moving on to the live finals.
No Roadhog on either side, which means it's all about that shield pressure. Zenyatta from Saber doing damage. We see that Fire Strike coming across the first kill. It's going to be hard to get. It's really going to come down to which shield breaks first and who has the better shots. But look at this. Soldier and Genji positioned on the sides. They're potentially thinking about diving onto there. So you have to be careful, though. There with the Reflect. We see the Reinhardt down to half HP.
Yeah, Lair doing a good job on this Genji so far of poking. Now he's onto the high ground.
They don't see him.
Sneaky. This is sneaky. He gets the kill onto Saber. His Red Thera finds one onto Undead Donut. And now 3-1. Lair gets the kill onto Rukata. And now the defense just crumbling. There's no one alive on the side of University of Cincinnati. They're 20 meters away from finishing this off on the side of Toronto.
And what a wipe there. The sneaky Genji, they had no idea. They should have known, but they didn't. And because of that, they might have just lost the game. Tracer was able to get back to the point. Diva's on the point. They're going to contest for as long as they can, James, but they are piling in one by one. The entirety of the team from Toronto is here, and here comes the Dragon Blade.
Dragon Blade is on out, and now he's on the hunt for Meowmere. Not going to be able to stay alive as Talons is able to pick up a triple kill with his tactical visor, and that is University of Toronto. They've done it. They are the Kings of the North, and they'll be moving on to represent the North region at our live finals.
And what a series, back and forth, but that last Route 66 map entirely in favor of Toronto. They had the full hold, and then they won the first team fight, which was all that they needed. Honestly, congratulations to them, an impressive performance all around. But for the play of the game, it's going to be Talons' Soldier 76.
Yeah, it was probably that last tactical advisor there on the offense. No, it was just earlier on when they were attacking.
Straight up damage. This is what enabled them, that great Helix rocket. And then the rest of the team, you see Cincinnati scattered there as they tried to get off with Big Earls, but it was just too late. Talons with 64% kill participation. I mean, the entire team has been showing up, but especially after we've seen those changes to Soldier, Talons on that hero performing very, very well.
Yep, so we now have our first semifinalist moving on to the live finals. That will be taking place sometime January, possibly February. So congratulations to Toronto, but you can't undersell Cincinnati. They gave them one hell of a series there.
Oh, yeah. Cincinnati, you know, being the #1 seeded team, they have an average ranking, SR-wise, of 3,800. So high masters, their players throughout the TCS have become a bit of a meme, kind of legendary in terms of their performance and how much, you know, we've seen of them. And it's sad to see them go here, but losing to a team like University of Toronto, you know, what a way to go out. Toronto solidifying themselves as the Kings of the North, having an impressive record and impeccable results, and, you know, overall, what more could you ask for? Best of 5, going to 5 games.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
And we do actually have, once again, it's going to be Ronald, Ren, and Thera Lee. Congratulations on your victory today, Ronald. Now you guys earned an extra $7,000 in scholarships, and you guys are moving on to the live finals. How do you feel, dude?
We feel amazing. Like, look at my hands, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that felt so good. I've never wanted to beat any team more than Cincinnati. Like, for sure. That was amazing. We were screaming at the top of our lungs. I'm riding the high, for sure. That was crazy.
Yeah, that entire series was so back and forth. One thing I wanted to ask you in particular was your counter picks, the maps you went to after you lost a round, Eichenwalde and Route 66. You know, those were her strats because you guys looked so good on them. How often have you guys practiced those maps?
We usually take it like week by week, but Eichenwalde and Route 66 were always our most successful.
Mm-hmm.
They're not our most practiced, but all of our toughest opponents we've beaten on those maps, and we thought, like, if we've beaten such incredible teams prior, we can whip out these maps here, and we probably won't lose.
And you did. You guys probably didn't lose. You won. It was very, very impressive.
Now, you guys started off a little shaky, right? They were able to beat you guys first on Gibraltar, and then you guys ran it back 2 maps in a row. But then Lijiang was a completely different story. What was going through your mind when Meowmere was just going off on that Widowmaker?
Props to him. He is such a dirty Widow. He was tearing our team apart from the inside too. We were freaking out. He like definitely brought out the tilt factor. So, props to him for that. There was a point. I'm not. I obviously can't watch the stream, so I don't know. But we put dimes on the Genji.
He did work.
He is like the Canadian Genji. There was like a Reddit clip like a long time ago. That's him. And then I thought, we subbed you in. Like you never got time to shine, and we're down 2 maps. Let's whip out something crazy because like otherwise we're gonna lose this map anyway, and we can take it in the 5th game. So we wanted the morale, the momentum, the just like the positivity back for a few minutes, and then we can recollect ourselves for the 5th.
Yeah, it really worked out, and for Dimes particularly too, I want to congratulate him. Just playing Genji when traditionally he's been playing your tank flex role, and then going off. Even though you guys lost it, he's still the play of the game, and it obviously worked out. It seemed like you guys, even though you mentioned that you were starting to tilt, you came back very strong on that last map. So, Ronald, congratulations! You're going to the live finals. Every win you're getting now is another extra $1,000 per player. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Any shout outs to the fans? Anyone watching back at home?
To any naysayers, I told you we'd be number 1s in the North. Like I knew from the get-go. To my team, you guys get dinner. I promised. So I gotta go through. To Dimes, our sub, you put in so much work, and like you had to learn how to play Zarya to like such a high caliber in like 2 days. So, wow, dude, you pulled out. Talon, the villain of Tespa, we're gonna keep being the bad guys throughout the rest of the tournament because of you. I hope you're proud of yourself. Liar, my close friend, you tilt me constantly. I wouldn't have it any other way. To Funana, every time I nano boost you, 100% an accident. I'm so sorry. And to Mo, our resident memer, thanks for always like keeping the team together and like the spirits high. Final shout outs, all our fans, thank you so much. You guys bring the spirit like to our team. We could have no way made it here without you. And special shout outs to my friends, the Ginyu Force. They have been bugging me all year to give them the shout out, and I always forget. So like this is just for them. Oh, last ones. VCU, Waterloo. This game was for you. Thank you.
Pretty glassy there at the end.
Yeah.
VCU and Waterloo, former opponents against them. But once again, Ronald, congratulations on your victory. Good luck at the live finals. We'll be seeing you guys in a few more months. So yeah, that was University of Toronto taking it there in a 3-2 nail-biter of a series. It was so close.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so close.
Except for that last map.
Except for the last map.
It was the kind of series where some of the maps were close, some of the maps were one-sided. Overall, the series was incredible. And, once again, we want to congratulate University of Toronto and Renanthera. It's kind of funny how they've adopted this villainous role, the villains of Tespa.
But the heel. Right?
Well, it's like it's working for them, man. When you have haters and they're riling them up, but seriously, they're going to be representing the northern region at the live finals, and that's going to be quite the treat because we've been hyping up how strong the North is. It looks like they want to make it all the way. We'll see if they can do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at how the brackets have shaped up now. So, yeah, our first semifinalist moving on to the live final. It's going to be University of Toronto. And then we're going to figure out later on today if it's going to be Texas or ECU that will be facing off against them. And then, of course, on the other side of the bracket, we still have Horster Poly face off against Rutgers. And then, of course, Berkeley should be moving on with the DQ coming out, the forfeit coming out from Saddleback.
Yeah, so officially, I guess we have 2 teams locked in for the live finals in January. 2 more matches to go. And considering, seriously, we've had so many best of fives, I'm really looking forward to these next two.
Yeah, I mean, we were expecting the matches to get better and better and better as we moved forward with the Tespa Collegiate
Totally
series.
delivered.
And they have. It definitely has delivered. I'm really proud of all of our collegiate players being able to handle this, because right now we had mentioned, we had kind of talked about it earlier, but, you know, it's coming down to crunch time in many ways, more than one, right? They have to deal with getting to the live finals. They have to deal with papers and finals and
midterms,
finding ways to like get home for Thanksgiving, all these things, you know. There's so much on the plate for these guys, but they're playing at such a high level right now, and I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, and I mean, we got it from the interview that this has really like been a team effort, not only the players themselves, but the support, the clubs, the chapters themselves, the Ginyu Force. It's really a team collaboration to get this far, so...
Yeah, remember, like, there's a lot of pressure on all of our players right now, so just be sure to send your support their way. Tweet at Team Tespa and make sure, you know, to let your teams know that you're rooting for them. But that was our first match, Toronto, 3-2 against Cincinnati. But we still have more Overwatch for you guys after the break. When we get back, we're moving on to the East region. It's going to be Worcester Poly facing off against Rutgers University.